Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at somewhere called Abel Smith House because at Abel Smith House, I believe, somewhere, is a Jobcentre Plus. So we're going to have a wander around and I'll let you know when I find it.
What starts as a simple walk into a job center quickly turns into a familiar flashpoint: cameras, authority, and confusion over the law. The filmer isn't aggressive, isn't disruptive, and clearly explains his purpose: documenting public information. Yet within minutes, staff resistance appears, security is alerted, and policies are vaguely referenced but not produced. This is where these encounters often pivot. Is this a misunderstanding, a training issue, or a deliberate attempt to control something that might actually be lawful? Watch closely, because the next decisions set the tone for everything that follows.
Interesting. So you can't just get in there, you do have to be buzzed in. So we'll carry on looking around. But I would say that's definitely the job centre in there, looking at, the layouts and whatnot. So we're gonna keep wandering around and see if we can find an entrance for the job centre. Hopefully we can find one. Ah, here we go. Job centre entrance this way. And I see it. And already I see G4S. They're literally inside the door, so push the door to open. Oh, man. Oh. No, just having a look at the boards and that. Yeah.
Can we help?
Pardon?
Can we help?
No, just as I said, I'm just having a look at the boards and stuff, mate. That's all.
What's the filming for?
Pardon?
The filming?
I'm making a video about the public information that's available at the local job centre.
Right, no. Please, you're not allowed to film on DWP process.
Why not?
Because that's DWP policy.
Okay. Can you go look up your written policy on that, please?
Please.
Are you the manager here? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. As the manager, don't know what your name is, so I'll just call you the manager. Can you please go look up your written policy, because I'm aware there is a written policy on this, and it will enlighten you.
Okay. Can you please leave the premises for the time being?
When you look up your written
Can
policy,
you please, we don't allow filming on DWP.
but your written policy states otherwise.
We don't allow filming.
Yeah, your written policy states
Without
otherwise.
permission.
Your written policy
If you
states
refuse to
otherwise.
leave, then we will call the police to have you removed.
Okay. The written policy from the DWP itself states otherwise.
Then we will call the police and we'll have you removed.
Okay.
For your information,
Yes.
recording you.
I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know.
All I'd like to say politely
Yes.
is that I do not give you permission to record me
Okay.
or to use that on any media.
Okay.
I'm not sure what your intentions are either way.
Okay, I understand that.
I will tell you that you don't have permission
Okay.
to record me.
Thank you for being so polite and cordial about it. I appreciate the polite request. In my response,
Yeah, would you-
no,
would
sorry,
mind
sorry.
turning
In
down?
my response, I also do not give you permission to record me in that instance.
Okay.
So you've turned
Well,
your body
I've told
camera on.
I've told you I'm recording.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just for both of us.
Yeah, that's
to
fine.
ensure that there's no ambiguities.
Absolutely.
At any other time.
Completely agree. The camera gives an absolute undeniable account of situations. So I completely agree with that. And for the same purpose, I'm going to continue recording as well. Okay, because you have your account. I know I have the right to access that, but that can take so long to access.
What is your request? Would you like to just repeat that? You've not spoken to
Yes, so as I explained to the manager, I came here to make a video about what's on offer to the public in the local job centre. It's something I do. It's I make sort of vlogs, sort of thing, and I make things that
I'm
are.
not asking you because I'm trying to.
No, that's fine. There's nothing incriminating about it.
We'll
Yeah,
deal with that
yeah.
side of it.
Yeah,
All
I'm
saying
happy
is
to
I'll
explain
be
to you.
make sure
Yeah, I'm happy to explain to you. You've been very polite with me. Yeah, I'm happy to explain to you. You have been very polite. And I said it. I'm just making a video. It's something I do. I make videos about what's on offer at local job centres. It's public interest. Not everybody that comes to the DWP. Some people are on PIP. Some people aren't able to get here.
I can't get into that conversation.
No. Obviously, I know, but it's a fact. Some people are on PIP, and some people are not able to physically get here to see what's on offer. Some people, those same people, may not have internet access to look online.
I hear what you're saying. I can't get into
No, you
that.
can't exactly. But a little bit of reason of what I do.
So
but-
what are you going to do now?
Well, I'm going to wait for the manager to print off his written policy on it because I'm aware that there is one. So, once we got that cleared up, then I'll carry on about my business. I'll carry on a little bit while we're waiting. But yeah, no, you've been very polite and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's nice to see G4S Security that actually have their license on display as well. Actually, a lot.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you both have it on display. Fantastic. A lot of job centres that I go to.
Again, I can't.
No, okay, you can't get into that. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm still going to say what my piece. But I do go to a lot of places and security do not have their licence on display, which, as you well know, in the legislation is 6 months in prison. Maximum sentence for that is a serious offence. The courts of class is a non-serious because it goes to magistrates. But still, you don't want to end up in prison for 6 months just for not wearing a little blue card. So yeah, it's nice to see that you both are. Appreciate that as well. There we go, guys. So at the moment, they've got roles going for an HR administrator, a mobile caretaker. So you can pause and read these at your leisure. Seasonal support staff. Various roles available with Mind in Hertfordshire. So Mind are a mental health charity. And if you've got QR scanning capabilities, you can scan these to access these ones. So these are in, you've got various locations. You've got, with Audi, you've got Stevenage, Letchworth, Welwyn and Hatfield. All relatively close to Stevenage, good transport links. There we go, got some more here. There we go. Yeah, another thing that I do tend to notice as well at job centres is, like, for example, where people have appointments down there. So these ones are probably better than I've seen in a lot of places. They've got like the cubicles, but still, if somebody were having an appointment, say in cubicle 44 there, and somebody were having an appointment in the next cubicle along, what potentially is going on is they're overhearing each other's private and personal information, which the DWP have a onus under GDPR and Data Protection Act to keep private and secure. So obviously that's something that gets highlighted in my videos as well, is the mishandling of people's personal data by the DWP. That's another thing. People are interested in how the government are handling our information and our personal data. So for example, you've actually got blinds down on your windows. Again, good to see. Don't always see that. If you didn't have those blinds down and I was stood outside, I could film through the window and see all those computer screens that are at the back of the desk there. And while somebody's having an appointment, all their personal information on it. Again, this job centre so far, I must say, apart from the manager, is doing well with it, because you have your blinds down as you should. You have your licences on display as you should. You've got job adverts up on the board for the public to come and have a look at. Your computers are all accessible, you've got hand sanitizer and everything ready for them. So I must say, other than the manager being a bit grumpy, it's looking good, you know. But other than that, so I'm just going to get those signs on that wall behind you there. So, you know, and I do appreciate that, obviously, for professional reasons, you can't engage in conversation about these things, but I do appreciate that. If one of you could confirm with the manager that he's definitely called the police, if you've got a radio or something, I'm not going to, like, this thing is, if somebody's called the police on me, I don't want to waste it.
The manager's spoken to you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't get into dialogue
Yeah.
about what the manager is doing.
Yeah.
With security next.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. So you just like observe and report, sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll tell you what.
Partly.
I'll tell you what. You guys are probably the best people for security I've met in my time.
Safety and security.
Yes, yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
So I can't get into dialogue.
Yeah, I understand. Obviously, as you can tell, the way I'm talking to you, and you know, I'm not acting threatening or aggressively towards you, so there's no safety issues.
So where do you put all this information?
Various places, you know, various places. You know, YouTube's probably the most popular one. But, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've been told you're not allowed to film here.
Yeah, I've already spoken to the manager.
Yeah. The police are on their way down.
The police are on their way. In that case, because just I'll be polite. You haven't been rude to me, but because you called the police and wasted their time, I don't want to waste their time when they arrive, and if I'm not here, for them to be looking for me. So I'm going to remain here and wait for the police. At which point the police will inform you that I'm in a public place. Okay, it is a publicly accessible area for the public to come and use. For example, you have job adverts on the board for the public to come and look at, computers for us to come and use. It is a public place, and
Why are you filming? Why don't you just
well, I've already explained to security. They can fill you in later. I'm not repeating myself. But
take photos of the boards, can't you?
yeah, but then it's not a vlog, is it?
It's just being difficult.
Well, no, you know. Yeah, he's recording as well, so you know. Yeah.
Police will be here, pal.
Okay, no worries. I'll wait around. I said I don't want to waste their time with them looking for me. So. Oh, yeah. As SI licensed operatives, I'm sure you're aware that trespass isn't a police issue, it's not a criminal offence. So there's absolutely going to be nothing that the police could do about it anyway. You know, when they get here, they're literally going to say, they might ask me to leave and I'll tell them the same thing. No, but... I've actually been assaulted by numerous G4S staff and that. But again, I know you can't comment, but just letting you know what happens. Oh, hiccups. Might be a long wait, guys. They don't tend to rush for this sort of thing, in my experience. So, I'm just going to take a seat. Oh. It's a very large facility for somewhere to be so empty. Wonder how much we spunk up the wall on heating and energy for this place. Do a freedom of information request, I guess. Do you not get bored doing security here when it's this quiet? Not. I mean, I don't know if they allow you to like read a book or anything like while you're, if it's quiet or anything like that. Or no. I mean, I'm just trying to have a casual conversation to pass the time now, but
yeah. We're just not allowed to instruct to get into.
Yeah. All right, no.
Dialogue, just do our job.
Yeah. Fair enough. I appreciate that. What time do you close? 5?
Publicly, information available like that is
9 to 5, yeah. Cool. That's when you have to. I was just checking the time, making sure I wasn't obstructing anybody from going home or anything. I wouldn't do that. Got plenty of time. Quite interestingly, though, I know you can't talk back, but if I were to refuse to leave when you were locking up, that's when it would become a criminal offence, because it would be obstructing you from doing lawful activity, locking up and going home. That would then become a criminal offence, and the police would get involved with that. But they're here, are they? Cool.
This is a critical moment. The discussion shifts from emotion to paperwork, and that's where many of these encounters either resolve or unravel. Notice how the policy is selectively read, focusing on restrictions while glossing over the sections acknowledging that filming itself isn't a criminal offense. This is important. Internal policy does not override public law. Security is doing what they're trained to do, observe and report, but the confusion comes when policy language is treated like legislation. So here's the question for you. If staff themselves don't fully understand their own written guidance, who should be accountable when the situation escalates unnecessarily?
A few moments later.
Ah,
Oh, push it.
I've met you before.
Oh, hello, you're
Hello, how
right.
you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Just
Yeah.
so my camera's on.
Perfect.
No
Good.
policy.
Glad to see you learnt from last time.
Oh, I told you last time. It was that PCSO that didn't.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'll have to really look on the footage now.
Yeah, I found the video though.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to miss it, really, wasn't it, that one?
Oh, no worries. I've spoken to the staff.
Sure.
Remember, they're stating that their policy is not to allow filming on the private premises because it's landlord owned.
Right.
So it's not public.
Sure.
He said he's printed it out and so forth. He's tried to explain it to you so that you're...
Oh, he hasn't shown me any print out. I did ask him to print it out because I'm aware of the policy.
If they print...
Okay.
If they show you it on paper, you're happy to cease filming and obviously leave the premises?
So their policy, the one that I'm aware of their filming on DWP premises is they use the HSE Act, Health and Safety for Employers. Not relevant to a member of the public in this building. Is the onus on them for that. And at the end of that printout, it does say that while they prefer that claimants and members of the public don't film here, there is nothing that they can do to stop it. If somebody wanted to film, say for example their appointment, they cannot be stopped from doing it if that's what they want to do, and they should be offered a private room to have their appointment. So it does state in their written policy that they cannot stop somebody from filming in the job centre if they want to, and that's the straight. That's probably why. That's probably why he hasn't come and shown me. May?
Yeah, absolutely. It says if there's no business reason, so first ensure there's not a legitimate customer service requirement from the filmmaker as a DWP customer, which there isn't. DWP policy is we prohibit filming for data protection, privacy and information security reasons in DWP premises without permission unless a reasonable adjustment is in place. Any filming must stop before allowing entry. If there's no business reason for the entry, which there wasn't, Follow the advice below, have on-site security maintain a safe distance, and monitor the behaviour of the filmmakers, which they have done.
They've been fantastic
Ensure
strategy
optimal
for us. They've been really
behaviour.
good. Yeah.
Where a request is made by DWP staff or a security guard to stop filming and leave the property, this must be done calmly, professionally, using the statement, I don't give permission for filming, please stop. We don't allow filming or audio recording on our premises without permission. I said words, perhaps not precisely those words, but
To that effect,
pretty much
fair
to
enough.
that effect. If the filmmaker refuses to desist, then it's important for staff or security don't engage in any debate around the legalities of their actions and instead contact the police. Close all ground floor blinds to prevent intrusion into the building. Ensure all external doors. Remove name badges if you're exiting the building. It's important to your staff. Where incident occurs, it should be raised by the UCB. But if unavoidable, do so calmly without being professional at all times. Please stop. We do not allow filming or audio recording on our premises without permission. So that's basically.
May I read that? May I have a look at that?
Absolutely read that.
May I keep this copy?
You can keep that.
Yep. Cool. There we go, guys. So you can pause and get that a bit closer. Pause and read that at your leisure.
Between
Okay. So you say I'm not here for a legitimate business reason. Okay. So you say I'm not here for a legitimate business reason. What do you class as a legitimate business reason for being in this job centre?
to undertake an appointment or pre-booked with our job centre. For this particular site, we don't have walk-ins, it's pre-booked appointments only.
So why do you have an open door with adverts on a board for computers here? So do I need an appointment to come and use one of these computers to do a job search?
To come and use this office, yes, you would need an appointment.
An appointment to come and use one of these computers? That's interesting. Do you have that in a written policy?
That's the REAP site, because these are REAP sites extension sites. So
Oh,
we
what?
don't have-
What's that?
So rapid extension expanded property.
Okay.
So these are satellite sites to main sites where we've had sort of the overspill from the increase in claimant numbers due to the pandemic. So we've had to open up extra sites.
The overspill that I've been here 40 minutes, and that's the first person I've seen walk in and maybe here for an appointment. So I just wait for him to go in and that, and we'll carry on.
Do you have a reason for being here?
Yes,
What's your legitimate reason?
I've already explained that to them.
Okay.
So sorry, can you explain to me again, what's your legitimate reason for being on this?
I've already explained that to you.
Well, I'd like you to repeat it if you would, please.
Well, you've got it on camera. It was recorded. So I'm not here to be a parrot and repeat myself.
We'd like to know your legitimate reason why you're here.
Well,
We don't know. We haven't been to the site.
Okay, that's fine. You can ask them. I already told them. No offence, but you know, you're here as an observer. This is a matter of civil trespass. You're here as observers, and that's the extent of your powers. It's civil trespass, whether or not they have a written policy.
So you're legal, saying you don't have permission to be here,
It's-
you don't have a legitimate reason.
Okay, it's still
I'm asking you
okay.
to ask him
Okay,
legitimate
and
business.
but that's not your business. This is a
is
civil
business.
matter. It's a civil matter, not
But
a
you
it's
have
not
permission to
it's
be
not a
on this
police
site.
matter.
It's
Yes,
just
okay,
like-
fine, and fine. If that's the
then I'd
case,
just like to
okay,
know
fine.
your
If that's the
legitimate
case, right?
reason is.
If that's the case, then this comes down to a matter of I'm trespassing. Okay? Do you have any jurisdiction over a civil trespass?
I just want to know.
Do you have any jurisdiction over civil trespass, or are you here to observe? Right. So
That's
so
fine,
so
but
mind your
I'm
own,
asking
and
why
I'll
you're
deal with
here.
it with them.
They still don't know.
I'll
why
tell you
you're
what.
here.
Take the gang badge off your uniform. We might be able to have a
Enough.
civil
You don't
conversation.
speak to me like that.
Well, I do.
You don't.
I do. If you're going to wear a gang badge on your uniform, then that's exactly how I talk to you.
You don't need to start talking to me like that.
Why not? What are you going to do about it?
Well, if you start getting leery, I can remove you. So.
No, you can't. It's a civil matter, not a police matter. You cannot get involved.
Okay, enough of the attitude.
No.
I'm asking you why you're here, and you still don't know why you're here. I'm asking you very nicely why you're here. And you haven't answered.
It's not your business.
Well, if they've called us, we then are part of the business now.
You're here as an independent observer in a matter of civil
Okay, so don't
trespass.
ask me why you're here, because you don't have a reason why you're here. Okay, cool.
So you're making inferences. Are you now a solicitor? Are you a barrister?
You won't tell me
But
so.
you're making
Therefore, I'm
inferences.
guessing that you don't have a reason
You're
why
you're making illegal
That's fine,
inferences.
That is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries at all. That's fine. You don't have a reason.
0268 is definitely not the level of your IQ. That one, is it?
Okay, no worries. What were you told the reason he was here for?
Something about filming the information that's on the public boards,
Oh, okay.
which was done immediately upon entering the building.
Yeah.
So beyond that, I'm not sure why there's any need to remain on the premises.
Okay.
Again, something I have already explained.
Have you filmed the public boards? Yeah.
What I filmed is my business, not yours. If you want respect from members of the public, I would strongly suggest you take those gang badges off your uniforms. That would be a cracking start. But we've already had that discussion, me and you, about how I feel about that badge. You know. I'm pretty sure was it you that was with him last time, or was it somebody else? I know it was a female officer. I can't remember. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah. So I made you both aware of how I feel about that.
That's okay.
Badge on your uniform. Sorry, and your collar number again, just to remind me.
1128.
1128. Thank you. There we go. At the end of the day, if you're going to be a constable, you need to expect attitude from the public. You don't turn around and tell me not to give you attitude. Exactly. So don't tell me not to give you attitude. It's something you are. I don't care what would be nice. It would be nice if you didn't wear that gang badge on your uniform. But there we go, because that's exactly what it is. Yeah. But we discussed it. We discussed that last time. The fact that what that represents.
If you don't like it, that's fine. But I do, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their opinions. If he doesn't like it, that's fine. But I do.
Yeah.
I've got my own opinion about it. I've got my own preference about it.
So you swear an oath to the crown of this country and then deflace our flag. That's exactly what you've done.
Okay, you're now assuming things about me.
No. No. That's a fact. You have sworn an oath to the crown of this country, and you are defacing her flag. That's exactly what that is. It's a defaced flag. No, it just shows the level of respect you have for your oath.
I have a lot of respect for my oath.
Of course you do.
Yep.
Of course you do. So it's interesting that he only read out the points that he wanted to read out. So shall I read you the rest of it, Constable? No, you don't want to hear the rest of it.
Oh, sorry, it's internet.
Yeah. So he only read out the parts that he wanted you to hear.
Okay, yeah,
So we've got to help manage these incidents and protect staff, the following information is provided to help should such an incident happen again. The law on when and where filming can be carried out lawfully is complex, but in general terms, members of the public and the media do not need permission or a permit to film or photograph in public places, and police have no power to stop them if they do. What amounts to a public place requires legal advice, and where this becomes necessary, the office manager should seek instruction from legal services or the landlord. Staff are reminded that filming a DWP site or staff is not prohibited by criminal law, and it is only when the filmmaker's behaviour breaches criminal legislation, e.g. Public order offence, which I'm sure the security guards can attest to the fact that I've been very polite and cordial with you guys. Haven't been threatening or anything. Where filmmakers film on private property and refuse to desist, it is the landlord or DWP's responsibility to seek a civil remedy to prevent this, an injunction in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and interdict in Scotland. So therefore, as I was saying, you're here as an observer. They've called you fine. You're here as an observer. Like, asking me what I'm here for and me not wanting to tell you.
That's fine.
I don't have to tell you. Exactly. So you didn't have to be so pushy with it when I said I don't want to tell you. You should have been like, okay, fine, and just carried on observing.
It was only a question. I just wanted to know.
Well, again, but when a member of the public tells you no, you need to stop having an ego about it and just be like, fine, you don't have to. Well, you clearly did, because as soon as I told you I don't want to tell you, you got funny about it.
Yeah, I got funny because you just kept saying these guys know, but they didn't know.
Well, they did. They did. I've told them. They've got it on camera, and the manager eventually did tell you. So he just wanted wanted me to repeat it so you could hear it. That's the only reason. So he clearly did know. And that's why I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I'm not here to be a parrot. I'm here to carry out my business and be on my way.
That's fine. But I was just wondering what your business
Yeah.
was. That's what I was just
Yeah.
asking you. That's it.
And that's fine. But when I tell you, no, I don't want to tell you, that's fine. You accept that. As a member of the public, I have a right to privacy. I have a right to my own
Of course you
personal
do,
thoughts.
yeah. Of course you do.
I don't have to tell you anything.
That's fine.
Okay? And you need to accept that at the
That's
first
fine.
instance.
That's fine. I mean, I'm a police officer.
Yeah?
We tend to ask quite a few times because some people will tell us
Okay,
eventually.
so
That's
you
fine.
know what coercion is?
That's not correct.
It is.
It's not.
If somebody
It's
says,
just asking.
oh, okay, so if I
just
ask somebody to have sexual relations with me and they say no, and I keep
Yeah,
asking,
I'm
keep
not
asking,
having this
that's
conversation with you.
coercion. That's exactly what coercion is. You
not
get told no,
coercing you.
you deal with it, and you deal with the fact that you've been told no, and you leave it there. Simple as that.
Okay. No worries at all.
Again, once again, you've been quite polite and respectful. I still don't like the thing on your uniform,
I know you don't
but other than that, you've been quite polite and respectful. Again, the same as last time. You started with an ego last time as well. You did. It's all on camera.
I think you said we were both really nice last time, actually.
Eventually, yeah, but you started with an ego.
I didn't. I'm just
yeah.
asking you a question. That's
I know, obviously.
Yeah, it's how you deal with the
I
answer.
know, obviously, you film your videos and so forth, and just, not got an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you've come here, because you haven't told me the reason, they haven't told me the reason. Again, it is what it is. What's your outcome? What do you?
Okay, so
What would you like?
okay, so
So,
as I was
what I'm trying to say.
so as I was saying, as the manager already told you, as I told him and I told security when I got here, I wanted to film the information that was on the board, anything that's available for the public to come and look at. Some people are on PIP, some people can't physically get here, some people want to know what's available.
Yeah, I see what
I'm
you're
making a
saying.
video about that.
Yeah.
Also, when I go to job centres, these two have been fantastic, and I have stated that time and time again. You really have been brilliant. But I go to job centres regularly. It's an interest of mine, as well as police stations, as you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I quite often get assaulted by G4S. I notice quite often that job centres do not, as a government body, they do not hold out information privately and responsibly under GDPR and DPA. If somebody's having an appointment, as I gave them an example, in booth 44, and somebody's having an appointment in the booth next to it, everybody is overhearing everybody's personal and private information. If they've got their blinds down here, which again, I said to them, kudos for that, but if they didn't, and I was stood outside, I could film through the window, film the computer screens, everybody's personal information on it. I highlight these, and I'm using it in a case against the DWP. Okay, so that's another reason why I do this. Because it's not acceptable for our government to handle our information in this manner.
I understand that.
Okay, but again, and as I said, if they just let me go about my business and didn't call you guys, obviously, as soon as they said they called you, I wait here because I don't want you then around looking for me, right? So I wait here for you.
Yeah, no.
And also to prove to a point to them that you guys can do nothing about it. The police should not, your time should not be wasted and abused for something that you have. If I were being aggressive towards them, a different story. I would get that, but when I've not been that way towards them, they've wasted your time. You didn't need to be here. If they didn't call you, I would have filmed what I wanted to film, narrated. It probably would have been 5 minutes, quick narration, film what I want to film, and I would have been gone.
Yeah, I get that.
By the end of this encounter, we see a familiar pattern. No crime committed, no enforcement action taken, and a long interaction that arguably didn't need to happen at all. The filmer remained articulate, persistent, and legally aware, while officers largely acted as observers, exactly as the law allows in civil matters like this. The bigger takeaway isn't about winning an argument, it's about training, clarity, and proportional response. Encounters like this shape public trust. So what do you think? Was this handled correctly, or could it have been resolved in minutes instead of nearly 40? If you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real-life body cam and audit analysis.
They've elongated this, and they need to be aware, especially the manager of this building needs to be aware that, the layout needs to be better. If people are having appointments, obviously this is a very empty building. They have the space and capability to have appointments far away from each other.
I just went and spoke to the manager. I think to a degree he is aware of that.
Yeah.
Because one of his concerns is, say you sat here filming, which like you said, is your right at the end of the day.
Thank you.
The issue is potentially the breach of GDPR if someone's having sex.
Sure. But then you realise that breach is on them. I can't breach GDPR because the onus is on them. The GDPR applies to companies, organisations, and governments. It doesn't apply to members of the public. I cannot breach it. But if I film that computer screen through the window, the GDPR breach would be on their side. They would be culpable to the ICO, not me, because the onus is on them to make sure that information is private and secure. Okay. And you weren't here when I read it out, but I read it out to this PC. The manager conveniently only read out the stuff that he wanted known to you. There is actually information on here that does state that, you know, it's obviously DWP have got record of probably mostly me going around doing this. And it says in here that there is no legal grounds for them to stop me. It comes down to what is a public place, and it's on the onus for the office manager or the landlord to seek legal advice and seek a civil remedy such as an injunction. But until such a time, you know, there's no criminal legislation. The police can do nothing. It states it all here. But again, he conveniently didn't read that out to you. You know, and again, that's all on camera as well. So, well, no, but again, but he only reads out the things that pertain to what suits him.
I mean, I
you know,
obviously,
yeah,
you know, like you said, it's a civil matter.
Yeah,
you know, you sitting here filming is a civil matter. You know,
absolutely.
I'm not dragging you out of the building.
No, absolutely.
Building shut and so forth.
And I mentioned that. I did say that. I asked them what time they're closing, because I said if they're closing, I will leave, because then that becomes aggravated trespass, because I'm disrupting them from carrying out lawful activity.
Like you even said yourself, you know, as soon as you hear the police are turning up, and it makes you want to stay longer and so forth. And
absolutely.
Again, you know, I understand the videos and why you film them, and perfectly fine. So yeah, so it's a case of, you know, if you, it is what it is, mate.
Yeah.
You want to sit here, you can sit here.
Cool.
If the building shuts, then the building shuts, and that's a different
That's
matter.
it. Then I'll leave, because I don't want to be aggravated trespass. That's a criminal matter.
Okay.
Exactly. But yeah, that PCSO, by the way, put in a formal complaint against him. He's currently being investigated. And after you guys left, I went in to make a complaint in person about the PCSO. Two female PCs. Oh yeah, you saw the video, didn't you? Man, that was ridiculous. I've actually put in a complaint against them, not just for their attitude, but for misfeasance in public office. They abused their power and threatened to seize my property for conspiracy to commit public nuisance, which, when I looked up that act afterwards, I fit none of the criteria for. So they're abusing their position of authority to threaten members of the public. It amounts to harassment.
Well, like we said last time, you know, you're well in the right to make complaints, and people need to make complaints about things like this at times, because that's how you improve and so forth.
Yeah, you know, I'm currently fighting to get those badges off your uniform officially.
Yeah, I know.
But
okay.
you know,
well,
at the end of the day, those badges arose as a counter-protest to BLM, so the fact that you wear them kind of paints you in a bad light.
Personally, I don't view it in that light. I understand.
Yeah,
again, like I said last time.
I walk around with a swastika on me. Personally, I'm not using it for that. I'm using it for the Hindi reason of where it originated from. But I walk around with that on me, then I'm going to get done for public order offences. You know, because it is a hate image. You know. So, and that's the thing, whether or not you're using it for your personal reasons, you have to take into account the connotations that emblem carries with it. And that was used heavily in counter-BLM protests. That's what made them so popular. And they've also been used by white supremacist group, Yardie, no, not Yardie Boys, that's London gang, what do they call? Some boys in America, they've co-opted the thin blue line for white supremacy, and
it's a shame that groups like these are making
it is, but that's exactly what the Nazis did with the swastika. You know, it existed for that for very peaceful reasons. But you need to keep that in mind. You need to take that into account. The image that you're putting across, and the faith that members of the public have in you when they see that on your uniform, it undermines you. Okay, and that's what, if you want respect and you want a good relationship with the public, wearing those on your uniform is not helping in the slightest. And that's not just me, that is a widespread opinion by thousands of people, you know, thousands, not just a couple of us. I mean, you've seen my video, that video got 100 and something thousand views, you know. So, you know, and a lot of them did comment on your badges on your uniform. Exactly. So you're aware that people don't like it, but it is.
Don't like us, though.
But it is your responsibility, according to Pelian principles of policing, to have the court of public opinion on your side, and diminishing and undermining your own position. No, you've just admitted that you know people don't like it, and you still continue to do it. Yeah,
And
but
haven't really, to be fair, come over to us,
but But,
I
you
know
know,
you said of that,
I understand
lots
the
of
issue
people
with
do.
it. I tried to get people to like me from
Yeah.
talking with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I
This is just
understand,
something
you know, it has an effect and so forth,
Yeah.
and I get that.
But again, I can walk around with swastika, pretend to be the friendliest person, have the nicest demeanour about me, but I've still got that
I understand
emblem.
what you're saying, I understand
You
what you're
know, it's not. It's at the end of the day, I think it's atrocious, and you know, I am looking at getting a petition into government to get it formally banned from your uniforms, because at the end of the day, it is a defaced flag. You know, as I was saying to her, you swear an oath to the crown, and then you deface the flag of this country. It doesn't show much respect for the oath that you take. You know, it's all around. I just think I understand why you wear it. It's for the fallen officers, as they say. That the whole 11 of them that have died since 1910. Yeah, but they have different lines. They have different lines. The blue line is specifically for police. And 11 police officers have died in the line of duty since 1910, I think it is. Over 2,000 and something people have died in police custody since 2010. You know, 20 times more likely to die in police custody than a police officer dying in the line of duty. You know, you're up to 4 times more likely to die in police custody than from a terrorist attack.
I did not know that.
There you go.
I know that now.
You know, the statistics are all online. You know, it's easy to find. You know, but and so when people see that, and you say it's for the fallen officers, well, what about the people that die
Yeah, I
No,
know.
it's
for
fair
you?
enough.
You know,
It's fair enough.
Yep,
die in your custody.
a lot of people, yep.
But anyway, we're not needed here.
No, all right,
All right,
But yeah.
we'll let you carry on your day, mate.
Cool.
All right?
cool. Right, now you guys have been and kind of told them, like I said, that there's nothing that you can do about it. I'm probably just going to do a quick sweep around the boards, so I can
Yeah,
have a
all right.
clean bit of informational video without interruption, and I'll be on my way, like I would have been in the first
Take care of
instance.
yourself, all right?
You too?
Right. I'm sure we must run into each other again.
Maybe. I don't come down this way that often.
Yeah, I saw some of your videos actually further up and around.
Yeah, I go all over. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well,
Take care.
of yourself.
You
All right.
too.
See you later, guys.
There we go, guys. So, as I said, there's absolutely nothing that the police can do about it. The manager won't be happy. She's probably going to have a little cry in the corner. But yeah, I will keep hold of this policy. I will take a clearer picture of it, and I will post that up for you to read. And like I said, conveniently, the manager did only read out the information that he wanted known, and conveniently left out the stuff that goes in my favour. Yeah, so just a quick one, guys. Bit of a debrief for you. Why I do this is we have human rights. That's why I'm just actually, to be fair, it's pointing down there. But yeah, to be fair, like, you know, we have human rights in this country. We have the Human Rights Act. Article 10 is a right to freedom of expression, which covers the media. It's what gives the media the freedom to do what they want to do. We can criticise our government. We can have comedians. This is what gives us those rights, gives us that freedom of expression through those channels. I have the right to receive and disseminate information to the public under this right, unless I'm infringing on other people's rights, which filming in a public place doesn't constitute infringing on another's right. You don't have the right to privacy in a public place, the same way that you can have CCTV cameras and I can't object to it because it's a public place. You know, say, you know, walking down the street, you can have CCTV cameras pointing at you. You can't do anything about it because it's a public place. You don't have to have consent for it. You know, the best I can do is I can make a request for that. But I have the right to come in and make an informational video to disseminate information. You know, whether it's about the breaches of GDPR, whether it's about the poor treatment by the majority of G4S, not you guys, that I interact with. I have the right to show this and hold our government to account and spread this information. It's protected. And that's why I do it, is, you know, Dominic Raab and Priti Patel are petitioning to get rid of our Human Rights Act at the moment. And this is basically a civil protest against such measures. You know, our human rights are important. They're there for a reason. We don't want them stripped. You know, the police would knock on your door without a warrant. You don't have to let them in. That's because it's protected under the Human Rights Act. You want to go marry whoever you want to marry. That's because it's protected under the Human Rights Act. The death sentence not in effect because of the Human Rights Act. These things are important. You know, they start stripping our rights slowly and slowly. You know, then it becomes a huge issue for us. We need to stand up for it. And that's why I do what I do. You know, when you guys are polite, I'll be polite back to you. You know, when people are aggressive to me, then I can give it back like I did with the female officer. You know, you start with an attitude with me, I can give an attitude, but if you're polite, you'll get politeness. You know, and I will take the time to explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm not just doing it to be an arsehole to you. You know, that's not my intention. But yeah, definitely, you know, the way our government handles our data, not impressed. This place is better. But yes, guys, as I said, with that, the police have informed managers and that civil trespass is a civil issue, nothing they can do, and I have the right to come in here and film, as per the written policy that the manager printed off and flagrantly disregarded the bit that says that. But I will leave you guys to your day.
Thank you. When is this going on YouTube?
I don't know. Could be, I don't know, probably a couple of weeks yet. Yeah. Go out, do loads, and then schedule them to go out, you know. But gives you time to process things. You too. There we go, guys. So, yeah, it was a fun one there at the Jobcentre Plus in Stevenage. So, yeah, interestingly, like I said, they actually came out with this information sheet because of what we do, and as far as I'm aware, I am probably the most prolific for visiting job centre sites compared to other auditors. So I'd like to think that I've played a big contribution in this written policy that does state that, you know, they cannot stop you filming in a public place. What comes down to a public place is a matter for legal advice. But until such a time, you know, there's nothing that the police can do about it. They cannot get involved. It's not a criminal offence. And they should seek a civil remedy, such as an injunction. But without my details, they cannot do so. Okay, guys, so that is at Abel Smith House in Stevenage. Let me know what you think of that one, guys, and until the next one, stay safe, remember your rights, and yeah, like, comment,